Beyond the handshake, the real data driving the Africa Caribbean trade revolution. Author Richard Fortune. For years, the narrative around Africa Caribbean trade has been one of potential, punctuated by state visits and MOUs. It's a story of shared heritage and future promise. But for the operators on the ground, the investors, the project developers, the financiers, the question has always been, where is the data? Where are the actionable signals beyond the diplomatic photo ops? The conventional wisdom is that the corridor is long, the logistics are complex, and the real opportunities are years away. The conventional wisdom is wrong. The signals are already here if you know how to read them. They aren't found in press releases, they are found in the fine print of national budgets, the technical specifications of infrastructure tenders, and the quiet shifts in regulatory frameworks. They are found in the data. The energy infrastructure nexus, a shared grid, a shared problem. Consider the electricity grids in Kampala and Castries. On the surface, they are worlds apart, yet they are driven by the same urgent reality. In 2024, Uganda's national grid hit its peak demand capacity, forcing a strategic push for distributed solar solutions to power its booming economy. One. Simultaneously, St. Lucia is in the procurement phase for the Trumacy 10 megawatts AC solar PV project, coupled with a critical 13.3 megawatt slash 26.6 megawatt hours battery energy storage system BESS managed by Lucia 2. Just next door, Barbados is actively seeking proposals for a 60 megawatt base and onshore wind project to secure its own grid as part of its 2030 clean energy goal. 3. This is not a coincidence, it is a shared signal. The challenge for all three is not just generation, but grid stability and storage. While traditional analysis focuses on the individual projects, the cross corridor intelligence reveals a deeper truth. The technical expertise and financial models being developed for Caribbean BESS projects are directly applicable to solving Uganda's distributed energy needs. The operator who understands the Lucia tender in St. Lucia has a significant advantage in structuring a winning bid for a portfolio of commercial scale solar installations in Kampala. This pattern extends beyond energy. The 2025 completion of first oil infrastructure in Uganda's Albertine region created a massive downstream need for logistics and transport optimization for. This is the same challenge the Port of Mombasa is tackling with its 40% container capacity upgrade, and that the Castries port in St. Lucia is addressing with its cruise and cargo modernization project 5-6. The underlying demand is for efficient technology driven logistics management, a transferable skill set and investment thesis that applies across the entire corridor. The value add revolution from raw materials to refined products. A second powerful signal is the coordinated shift away from raw material exports toward in country value addition. This is a direct assault on colonial era economic models. In Ghana, the strategy is explicit. The government has successfully driven domestic cocoa processing capacity to 40% and is executing a multi-billion-dollar strategy to refine its bauxite onshore rather than exporting the raw ore 7. This isn't just policy, it's a competitive moat. It has allowed Ghana to stabilize its economy post IMF bailout and recapture billions in value that were previously lost. Now look at the Caribbean. St. Lucia, leveraging the OECS framework, secured geographic indication GI protection for its sea moss, boosting its export value by over 30% and preventing imitation. 8. Barbados, after successfully navigating the OECD's tax regulations, is now pivoting to establish a life sciences and biotech hub, moving its economy into high value clinical research and manufacturing. 9. What connects a bauxite refinery in Ghana to a biotech lab in Barbados? A shared understanding of how to use legal and regulatory frameworks to build competitive advantage. The legal architecture Barbados used to align with the 15% global minimum tax while still attracting investment is a masterclass for African nations navigating the same pressures. The framework St. Lucia used to secure its sea moss GI is a direct playbook for Ugandan coffee or Ghanaian shea butter producers looking to protect their brands and capture more value. These are not isolated events, they are nodes in a network of shared strategic intent. The capital and knowledge flowing between them are creating opportunities invisible to those who still view the regions in separate silos. The prediction: where the corridor goes next. The convergence of these signals, infrastructure demand, value add processing, and regulatory sophistication points to a clear and immediate future. The next wave of major opportunities will not be in commodity trade, but in technology enabled services that solve shared operational challenges. Prediction: February 2026. Within the next 18 to 24 months, we will see the emergence of a major Africa Caribbean consortium focused on digital verification and credentialing for regulated industries. Why? Because the friction is no longer about tariffs, it's about trust and time. A 2025 fintech pilot stalled for 9 months due to KYC lag in verifying Ugandan regulatory sandboxes 10. As Ghana implements its public beneficial ownership register and Barbados enforces its GDPR aligned Data Protection Act, the need for a trusted interoperable verification layer becomes paramount. 1112. The entity that can instantly verify the credentials of a Ugandan engineer for a Barbadian solar project or validate the source of funds for a Guinean investment into a St. Lucian tourism development will own the critical infrastructure of the new corridor. The data shows that GDP growth in these markets is almost perfectly correlated with the adoption of digital and mobile technology, R equals 0.999 in Uganda's case. 13. The demand is there. The technology is there. The opportunity is now. The handshakes were the prelude. The real work and the real returns are in the execution. And it's already happening. References.